Thanks for checking out the Brad and John Show podcast. This segment of the show is brought to you by John Combest's book, Stalking, Harassment, Internet Trolling, A Guide to Recovering and Rebuilding After Online Attacks. It's a great reference if you've ever been the unfortunate target of a social media attack. It's available on Amazon. Just search John Combest. That's C-O-M-B-E-S-T, John Combest, and the book will show up in your search results. Now it's time for another segment of the Brad and John Show. Can you handle it?
Hey, it's me, Egbert. E-G-G-B-U-R-T. Check out my website at egbert.com. Now it's back to those two dudes who told me they would bring in big ratings. They better are their history. Here are Brad and John.
That's right. Here we are, bj.show. If you go onto that page and you scroll down a little bit, you'll find a link. It's Egbert. Just click on Egbert's nose and you can listen to us live. And matter of fact, you can listen to the whole station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week after we get off the air. I think one of the best talk shows that is not in the St. Louis area, except for us, is Armstrong and Getty, which runs from 8 to noon. John, can I run this audio right now? Can I play this?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Okay. This was sent to me by Cindy Cristofanelli, who is the mother of one of our state reps in St. Charles County. And she was matter of fact, she was working at the caucus in St. Charles County, and this is for the 2nd and 3rd district because of the fact that that's how St. Charles County rolls. Part of it, essentially, the northern section of it is CD3, and then the part of it, the southern section of it, is CD2, which is sort of interesting because the main section of, or no, I shouldn't say that. The northern section is all CD3. The southern section, and the majority of St. Charles County is now CD2. And that's the interesting thing as far as with Mary Louise Coleman. Did I do it again? Mary Elizabeth. God, I don't know what. I got mental block. Mary Elizabeth Coleman.
Mary Louise sounds like a delicious dish that you could get in the frozen section in the Italian food at Schnucks.
I knew a Mary Louise. That's why I keep screwing that up.
I bet you did, Brad.
Mary Elizabeth Coleman and also Bob Onder. Now, this is Eigel's amendments to the platform. Now,
ooh, nice.
This is interesting because this is the voice vote. Now, Cindy did not get the number 1, but she got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me see if I can get this on the air. Let me see if this is going to play. I'm going to click this button right here. Hopefully this will come through. Okay, here we go.
The second one, the constitutional amendment to the Missouri Constitution prohibit the sale of Missouri agricultural land to foreign entities. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the third one, the detainment and deportation of every illegal immigrant present in Missouri. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Say no. No. Ayes have it. And then the elimination of taxation on Missouri personal and business income. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. The ayes have it. And the last one, prohibition of machine-based voting and tabulating systems in Missouri elections. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? No. All right, the ayes have it.
Okay, John, can you say that was a pretty partisan crowd there?
That was fantastic. Like, I mean, it's the idea of a call-in response, like something you would hear at a sporting event, and just something to get people clapping, something to get people on the same page. Like, I don't know. I think it's brilliant.
So I
thought a lot before the weekend of if I were suggesting the candidates what they would do and how they would use these events. It's hard to think of something better than that, Brad.
Well, and those were supposedly, I didn't catch number 1. Cindy apologized to me because she started recording after they did the first one. So she got 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those were Bill Eigel's amendments to the platform. Now, I guess that's the platform for the St. Charles County Republican Committee?
No, it would be the idea is that you can propose amendments, I guess you could call it, to the Missouri Republican Party platform. And so, which is a living, breathing document, Brad, like the Constitution. The extent to which the Missouri Republican Party and its members actually follow the Missouri Republican Party platform has been a huge topic of debate in the last year or two. But a different fact. But the idea is that you would take these recommendations and then take them to the state Republican convention and then decide if these ideas would go into the Missouri Republican Party platform.
Now, the interesting thing about those are Bill Eigel's platforms. Are like I said, 4 of the 5. I don't know what number 1 was, and those were overwhelmingly, and at this meeting there were hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them was like unanimous. I'm going like, look at, and to me, and this is not saying, well, wow, this is why you should vote for Bill Eigel, but I have to tell you, at least in St. Charles County, it sounds like when it comes to the Republicans, he really knows the pulse of what's going on in the Republican Party, at least the Republican activists who are, and once again, let's be honest, the people who showed up for these caucuses were not like, hey, what do we got to do Saturday morning? We could go hit some golf balls at the range.
Absolutely. It's definitely a more involved
right.
electorate. Now, here's what I want you to do, Brad. I want you to picture Jay Ashcroft standing before that group. And remember, I like Jay Ashcroft, so everybody can, as the kids say these days, don't at me. Don't reply me and tell me you're mad at me. But could you imagine Jay Ashcroft standing before hundreds of people and leading a call-in response in that fashion?
No, I couldn't, be honest with you.
Absolutely. Now, I saw his dad do it many times, and his dad can pull it off. Bill Eigel could stand there and pull it off. Frankly, I think Mike Kehoe could stand there and pull it off
very easily.
well. But, I mean, when you're talking about red meat for a partisan Republican crowd, whoever came up with this idea, whether it's Bill or somebody on his team, just the idea of uniting Republicans. And you know what? If you were on the fence going into this and you really like Mike Kehoe and you really like Jay Ashcroft and you see Bill do this shtick, you're probably like, he's our guy out here.
You know what? Because I can do this kind of stuff.
Are you calling him?
It's,
oh, God, Brad.
Let's call Bill and see if he answers. I'm sorry. Here we go. We'll find out what number 1 was, okay? At least I will try.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Bill, it's Brad Hildebrand. I'm live on the air with John Combest, and we just played a recording of your 5 amendments that were read and voted on at the caucus on Saturday. But the recording I have only has amendments 2, 3, 4, and 5. We didn't get number 1. We're on the air until 8 o'clock. If you can call me back, my phone number is 314-280-8880 before 8 o'clock and tell us what your first amendment to the platform was. We'd sure appreciate it. Thanks, Bill. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, let's see if he calls back. He probably won't.
Fantastic.
But let me make my point on this, which I think that he said something. There are some times when people say things that really stick in my mind because the way they present them. And this is a compliment to Bill Eigel. I've mentioned how I have been at meetings where there have been publicly. I'm not talking like when I'm talking in the course out in a vestibule or something like that. I'm talking public officials in St. Charles County. Specifically, I've seen Mayor Len Pagano, and once again, I have nothing against Mayor Pagano. I love Mayor Pagano. I think he's a great mayor. But I have heard him on 2 occasions just chastise Bill Eigel in public because of the fact that Bill Eigel wants to get rid of the personal property tax. And remember, when we had Bill Eigel on the phone, I asked him that exact same question. And Bill's response, I can't remember, Bill did, like I said, I give him credit. He said, when I get into a meeting with elected officials, he says, they're almost all universally against me getting rid of the personal property tax because that's how these municipalities make a lot of their tax revenue. He says, but if I had all 400,000 people of St. Charles County in that room, they would overwhelmingly agree with me to get rid of personal property tax. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? He's exactly right. You could go door to door, pick a subdivision in St. Charles County, and literally door knock it and say, hi, we're conducting a survey. Would you like to see the personal property tax discontinued in St. Charles County? And I think if you got 100 people that answered the door, I think 98 of them would say, yeah, that's terrible. I already paid sales tax. Because the crazy part of it is you pay, if it's a car, and you pay sales tax when you buy it. You pay tax on the license plates. You pay tax when you buy gasoline. If you get it repaired, you pay sales tax on the repair parts. So, and now you're getting another tax because of the fact that, let's say you stuck the car in your garage and you never even drove it for the entire year, you're getting charged to have that car sit in your garage because you own it.
Well, you know what, Brad? We're listening to a man talk right now who hates parks. And if it were up to people like you, we wouldn't have tens of millions of acres of beautiful parks to maintain and cut the grass and fix the grass and change the trash cans. What would happen, Brad, if we eliminated that personal property tax? You would not be – and I know you're a big parks guy. You'll go to a park every day and just use it for free because you're selfish.
John, I don't hate parks. I just think that's one of the – see, like, for example – if I called up Tashara Jones right now, and I said to her,
she's sleeping.
Yeah, I know she's sleeping. Okay,
she's not up right now.
If I called her up right now and said, Tashara, there's just been a incredible research study that's proven that if we got rid of all the parks in St. Louis City, if we just got rid of all the parks, sold them off, turn them into whatever, they can build office buildings and condos and stuff. But if we got rid of all the parks in St. Louis City, that would totally eliminate the crime in St. Louis. She would say, nope, not doing it. Because all these politicians, I don't understand, and even to the point where I like a lot of the stuff that Steve Ellman does in St. Charles County. I don't get the park thing. I never have.
Yeah, I know. But also, Brad, think about, too, from a city perspective, if you eliminated some of the city parks and the basketball hoops, then kids would be out on the street committing crime.
John, you're baiting me.
I mean, do you want to live in a city where kids don't have access to basketball hoops and might instead choose to run red lights, kill people, deal drugs, shoot up their neighbors and their friends?
I will say once again, if you did a survey, let's pick a muni. Let's pick O'Fallon, Missouri, okay? And you did a survey and you literally door knocked. You went, because politicians love door knocking. If you door knocked, let's say a subdivision that was right next to a park, okay? And you door knocked that park or that subdivision, and you said, hey, you live right next to the XYZ park. Yeah, I sure do. When's the last time you were there? Well, about 4 years ago, because once again, it's like I give the example, and I got in trouble with the smartest woman in the world on this. I make fun of Klondike Park, okay? If you've been in Klondike Park, it's as you're coming down 94 toward Augusta, there's a long stretch of road there after you come through the S-curves there in Defiant. Then you're on the bottoms there, and you come through Madison, which nobody knows where it's at anymore. But that's right around where that area right there is right around the area where Bob Onder lives. As the road makes a sweeping curve to the right, then it comes back to the left, that's the entrance to Klondike Park. Klondike is an old quarry. It's a limestone quarry that I believe was given to the county by a couple of rich dudes. And right now, if you were in that area and if you drove into Klondike Park, I would be willing to bet you $100, and I have a $100 bill in my wallet right now. I'd be willing to bet you that there's less than 5 people in that park at this very moment. And I know it's early in the morning and people aren't going to be at a park, but once again, at noon today, and the forecast is supposed to be a pretty nice day today. Isn't it supposed to be like in the 70s? Let me take a little.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be really unseasonably warm, but that's climate change. But go ahead, Brett.
Let me look at the official forecast. John's given me, 76, high of 76 today. Okay, I guarantee you, if you go to Klondike Park at noon today, there'll be less than 20 people in the entire park. And there's nobody ever in the park. And it's a beautiful park but yet they're saying, well, St. Charles County is a great place because we got Klondike Park. And like, Fallon, okay, recently, and nothing against Mayor Hennessy, Bill Hennessy, and Fallon, if you know when he took over as mayor, O'Fallon was in a terrible situation. Matter of fact, if you want to hear a funny story, have I ever told you this crazy story about the former mayor of O'Fallon, the lady who was former mayor of O'Fallon?
No, I don't know the story.
Do you know this story?
No.
Bill Hennessy took over. And things were just going sideways. And Bill really has done a good job. My opinion, I like the guy. But he talks about it as well, too. They brag about the fact. Matter of fact, we had a Chamber of Commerce meeting, not this past month, but the month before. We had it in O'Day Park. Do you know where O'Day Park is? Oh, Dave Park
Where is it?
It's one of the newer parks. Matter of fact, it's the newest park in O'Fallon. It's on Double D, south of
I
Highway.
love me some Double Ds.
I bet you do.
The road.
You and Clay Travis. It's on Double D. Do you know the Clay Travis reference?
I do know that. One of the greatest clips of all time. He's a gem.
It's on Double D, south of Highway 40.
Can you spit that out, Brad? You got a mouthful there.
It's on Double D, south of. Now you got me flustered. Okay, you know what? Enough of that. I'm just going to bail. I know when it's my time to get the hell out.
We got to get into Brad's top 3.
Oh, we'll do it next break, okay?
Thanks for checking out the Brad and John Show podcast. This segment of the show is brought to you by John Combest's book, Stalking, Harassment, Internet Trolling, A Guide to Recovering and Rebuilding After Online Attacks. It's a great reference if you've ever been the unfortunate target of a social media attack. It's available on Amazon. Just search John Combest. That's Combest, John Combest, and the book will show up in your search results. Now it's time for another segment of the Brad and John Show. Can you handle it?